I am sure at some point in life, we all played that one game as a kid and loved it back then, but then when you look back at it now when you're older, you realize that the game was actually pretty bad. That's how it was for some people in the 2000s with licensed video games. A licensed video game could be a video game based off a piece of media such as cartoons and movies. For most of these games, they are bad and rushed out. Why is that? Possibly two things: budgets and time constraints. For example, SpongeBob Hero Pants from 2015 was so awful and bad, we haven't gotten a new SpongeBob 3D platformer for about 6 years, not counting Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated, as it was a remake and not a whole new game. Thankfully there's a new SpongeBob platformer coming called SpongeBob Cosmic Shake, but that's a video for another time. I want to discuss the 4 SpongeBob THQ games that were published from 2003 to 2006. These 4 games were Battle for Bikini Bottom, the SpongeBob movie game, Lights Camera Pants, and Creature from the Krusty Krab. These 4 games were some of the best licensed video games in my opinion. While there are some other great games to hit the mark as well, I think these 4 are just all great to me as a kid back then. Without further ado, let us begin with the one that started it all, and was praised with getting a remake, SpongeBob SquarePants Battle for Bikini Bottom. SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom is a 3D platformer collectathon back in 2003, a year after the infamously awful Revenge of the Flying Dutchman game. This game was developed by Heavy Iron Studios as their 3rd game after they made Scooby-Doo Night of 100 Frights. The plot of the game is that Plankton is creating a robot army to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula as usual. But on cartoon villain logic, something goes wrong. He didn't set the robots to obey. The robots take him and kick him out of the chum bucket. As this was happening, SpongeBob and Patrick were playing robots and racehorses, as they wished they had real robots to play with. So Patrick pulls out a conch shell he calls the Magic Wishing Shell. Once they wish, the next day, SpongeBob's house has been ransacked by the robots. After that, you are sent on your way to explore Bikini Bottom to collect golden spatulas and stop the robots from causing mayhem in Bikini Bottom. Throughout the game, you go through iconic locations such as Jellyfish Fields, Goo Lagoon, Rock Bottom, and even the Mermalair. In each area will be golden spatulas, shiny objects, and socks to collect. Shiny objects are traded to Mr. Krabs for spatulas, and socks are given to Patrick for even more spatulas. In the game, you can play as SpongeBob, Patrick, and Sandy. Patrick can pick up objects or stun the robots and toss them. He can also slam on the ground to stun robots or defeat smaller robots easily. Sandy can hover using her lasso, and can also defeat bigger robots using it. She can also karate chop in the air. SpongeBob has a Bubble Bash and a Bubble Ground Pound attack. Later on, you will get the Bubble Bowl, which is a bubble ball that you can roll, and the Cruise Bubble, a controllable missile you can use to get buttons farther away from you. Sometime during the game, you'll come across more different enemy types. And also bosses, mainly Robo Sandy and Robo Patrick. You fight Robo Sandy in the Poseidon and fight Robo Patrick in the Industrial Park. The boss fights are pretty fun and change up the gameplay to make it enjoyable. There are also 3 mini bosses: King Jellyfish, the Flying Dutchman, and Prawn. I guess the developers forgot about Man Ray or the Dirty Bubble. Luckily they make an appearance in Lights Camera Pants, but that's for another review. After collecting enough spatulas, you can finally reach the final boss, Robo SpongeBob, paired with a robot Plankton. After defeating him, he begins a phase 2 where you go into his head and you are tasked to put your skills to the test. Once you reach the brain, you use the Cruise Bubble to hit the weak spots. After hitting all 3, you beat the game.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, you can't.
Let's go! This game just radiates early SpongeBob energy to me, especially with the plot actually sounding like a SpongeBob episode. Also, the robot designs are quite cool in my opinion, with my favorites being Hammer and Tartar. And while Prawn isn't made a villain for the game, I did slightly like his character as he fits with the other not-so-serious villains in the show. Lots of people don't like the voice of Mr. Krabs or Merman, to be honest, but I can deal with it as it wasn't much an issue to me. A few negatives I can mention was the camera looking down or up, or how the cruise boat movement up and down are inverted, but I am sure these are little nitpicks I have about the game that don't bother other people. As a kid, I really sucked at video games. Hell, I never really got far into Battle for Bikini Bottom just because I was so dumb. The part I got stuck at? I got stuck right here. Yeah, I know. Stupid, right? At least I was finally able to beat the original this time. Anyways, Battle for Bikini Bottom is still a really fun game from start to finish, especially when you want to go fast. Thanks to a whole community, Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrunning became a thing and was in Games Done Quick 2017, which helped spark the community. If you want to learn more about the history behind speedrunning, or if you want to see a Battle for Bikini Bottom speedrun, you should check out Chef's channel. He is super dedicated to speedrunning the game, but he is also a really cool guy. He also streams on Twitch, so you can watch him stream his runs live, or when he plays other games. Other than that, Battle for Bikini Bottom is still a pretty good game in my opinion. The music is fun to listen to, and I put it in my videos, and I still think the game looks good to this day. Also, the dialogue can be pretty funny here and there.
Well, then will you vaporize me? I might spare your life so I can force you to work in my sweatshop making low-quality designer knockoff wallets. Oh, thank you!
Someday, I will take a look at Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated and give my personal thoughts about how it compares to the original game. But for now, this has been my discussion of Battle for Bikini Bottom. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys and gals next time when I take a look at Creature from the Krusty Krab.